This is Chad, and I'm coming at you live on Friday Night Comic Corp. And this is a special Comic Corp because, like Katren says, Comic Corp means family. And when one of us goes down, we come in a hurry. So before we jump into the panel, I just want to give a big shout out to none other than Rob, a.k.a. The Great Legend. He had some issues, and we've decided to help and support him and get him through some things, and hopefully for a speedy and quick recovery. And I talked to him a little bit yesterday, and he sounded good and sounded like he was coming back soon. But with that being said, we are going to be doing the auction tomorrow night for him. And like I said, and all of us have said, that we are doing a little bit different. Some of our auctions are going to be charity driven towards the community. And this one is no different because we will be giving back as much as we possibly can and accepting donations to help the legend on some of those hospital bills that he has incurred over the past few days. So with that being said, let's dive into this hot and good looking panel. I don't know where it came from. So, hey, the host with the most, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right. So once again, it's Friday. It's 10 p.m. It's time for another Comic Corp. Tonight's for the Great Legend, but first, since it's for the Great Legend, I know it'd drive him crazy if we didn't get into the chat. So first person in the chat, we had Caleb Comic Smurf Murphy. What's going on, Caleb? Then we got, I like this guy. We got some Steven Spock. He's in the chat holding it down. Live long and prosper, Steven Spock. Let's see who else we got. We got a lot of Blue Wrench action, but we'll get into those people in a second. We got the Architect. He's burning it down with his Blue Wrench. We got Sam's Tangled Web. What's going on, Sam? And also, I was on a show with this guy yesterday. He started a show called Turtle Talk Thursdays. We got 90 MF Comics, Chad. Thanks again, Chad, for having me on your show yesterday. We had a lot of fun talking. He has told me I'm going to go buy a bunch of Turtle comics tomorrow during Free Comic Book Day. We also have, here's another one of the Legends favorites. We got Robert, the comic book G-Spot Galvin. What's going on, Mr. Galvin? How you doing, brother? We also have Chris Barrett. Says, hey there, true believers. Love it. Count Von Strange the 4th. How's it going, man? Glad you could make it out on this busy Friday night. Comics and movies. What's going on, man? Hopefully my package will show up soon. And I think my screen froze, but I'm going to keep talking anyway. I have no idea what's going on there. And Brucey Bruceus, what's going on, man? All right. So I'm going to go and get into this panel. First up in my lineup, we got JB from Discover Bay Comics. How's it going, man?
Mic check. Mic check. Is this thing hot? No.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm here. What am I talking about? Yeah, I'm here. I'm here to support. I'm here to hopefully we're all going to share some stories. I think tonight's going to be something special, and I think tomorrow could be even something special and the start of a nice trend for this channel to give back to the community. And we're going to start with one of the biggest community members there is, who needs us. So we're going to be there. I'm excited to be here.
All right. Well, we're happy to have you, JB. Next up in my lineup, we got Drew. What's going on, Drew Manchu?
Damn! I got the ugliest shirt in the world tonight in the honor of one of the best, the Great Legend Show. Oh, my God, Legend. We love you so much. Feel better, man. Get better, man. We need you back here fighting evil, dirty shirt vermin. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Drew, at least you don't have to worry about getting hit by a car crossing the street. That is a nice bright yellow T-shirt you got on the T Republic Comic Corp store. So if you guys want that shirt, I'll put the link.
Oh, throw that link in the chat. Throw it in the chat.
While I search for that link, I'm going to turn it over to JD Comics. What's going on, JD? How you doing tonight?
Good. I'm glad we're here, everybody, and enjoying ourselves. We're doing this for the legend. We're hoping you get better, my man. You are the 7-time champion of YouTube, so let's just make sure that you are now the 73rd champion. This is the closest shirt I have to a Fantastic Four, so big fan. So
Nice. I think 73 is the amount of people in the Comic Corps now. So I think it's pretty
Overtake.
Yeah. Next up, this guy was he not only has he been killing it on Comic Corps Unlimited, he killed it last night on the Game of Thrones review with Chad and Katren. John's Comics with Kids. How you doing tonight?
Hey, C. Wood, good to be here. Comic Corps Phase 1. Is that what this is? Phase 1 now?
Yeah.
The
A show.
It's good to be here. Obviously, Legend, obviously sending a lot of good wishes to you, sir. And I'm just blown away by the love and respect. Obviously, you can see in this room, in this chat for the Legend, the one and only.
And it looks like Carson might be having some technical difficulty, but we're going to keep on moving right down the line to none other than Paul, Midwest Comic Book Man himself. Paul, are you alive yet?
Yes, well, kind of, sort of.
All right, cool.
But, you know, I've known Legend for a long time. He's our man, and he, like we always say, we're family. One of us goes down, we circle the wagons. That's why you see so many people here in this panel today. That's why you see so many people in this chat. We're all here for you, Legend. I see you in the chat there.
He's creeping around. And JB, until we get Woodard back, I'm gonna count on you to help out with the chat.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, did we get Katren?
We're coming to her. Yeah, we're coming to her next. I was just getting direction, trying to get this thing going, you know, and wait until Mark sits back down, because the next up is the hostess of the mostest, the Queen Essential, my DC Queen. Is that better? That make you happy? I'm never replacing you. Here we go.
Now I really know how you feel about me, Chad.
Mark PKR90. What are you
eating, Mark?
Guys?
We're a sensitive house.
Oh, what am I eating?
Yeah.
Cheesecake.
Cake, nice. You like it.
Got a strawberry cheesecake for anyone wondering.
Oh, Golden Guys style. We like it.
Jealous.
But definitely here to support my family member, the great Legend. He's just a great dude, and you know, lots of love from the Katren Figures team here.
Get better, man. You really need to.
So what's that chat looking like over there, JB?
All right. Well, we've got a lot of new people in the chat. And let's start with giving a good shout out to the man himself. The great Legend is in the chat, and he's doing his thing, which is, you know, being out there and saying hi to everybody. We got Chris Barrett out in the chat. We've got Who Dat Comics and Movies in the chat. We got Comics for All People. Thanks for stopping by. Jack Yo says, hey, folks. And, of course, we got Sam's Tangled Web telling us good stuff. Jason, how you doing? So I think we got people, and if I left you out, I'll hit you on the next round.
And I saw one TJ.
Oh, wait a minute. Chad's in there. Did we mention Chad? And Count Von Strange? Ooh, good stuff. TJ Slapdragon Watson's in there. We got, Robert, the comic book G-Spot's in there. Everybody's in here. They're all coming. Everybody's coming. Kachung, thanks for stopping by.
I think the Unlimited people were trying to sabotage us, honestly.
Oh, sure. Come on.
It's a different show altogether. It's organized. It's middle of the week. Less beer. Better.
That's its first mistake.
We're bringing it to this show, and we are going to try our damnedest in honor to stay on the rails as much as possible. But if anybody wants to break out into a rap at any point, the Legend supports that.
You know who could do it. Come on, Drew.
Oh man, they put me on the spot.
You don't have to do it now. And we finished the rundown. Who else? Is everybody got a chance to be introduced?
We got everybody in there, but I want to start off on telling a Legend story. And Legend, when he first started out, when I first joined on to YouTube, I didn't know this dude was like for real. And when I first met him, I was like, man, this is a persona. This is a wrestling shtick if I've ever seen one. And then when I got to meet this dude, his personality is bigger, or is as big as this man's heart. So he doesn't care who you are, He might have 4,800 subs right now, but I can tell you 100% he knows all 4,800 of those subs on a personal level in some way. So, Legend, from when Rich and I were in the Batcave to now, we love you, brother.
Absolutely.
He even found us. He would.
Yeah, pretty much. So I guess I could tell my Legend stories. Goes back to C2E2, of course, when I actually got to meet him in person. And I was looking for the Comic Corp house / shanty, whatever you want to call it. And I showed up a little bit later than everybody because I didn't have to take a plane and get super early. So when I drove up, I finally found the house, and I was just like, "Well, what's going on here?" And I knock on the door. The door just creaks open because that's what the Comic Corp does. We never know what we're doing, apparently, including leaving an unopened door in the middle of this crazy Chicago neighborhood. But anyway, I just knock on the door. It opens up. I walk in. I see Pocan Joe first, and he's just kind of wandering around. But I was just like, "Where the hell is everybody?" So I go up. There's like a 3-story house. So I go up the middle of the stairs, and there's the Great Legend, and I'm just almost speechless when I meet the Great Legend. And he just looks at me and goes, I think if I remember right, he just goes, "Newsstand," and we just all start laughing. And then it was such a great time being at C2E2, not only with all of you guys, both the Great Legend. We got to share a room together, so that was pretty fun. Just seeing the look on his face when Chad gave him that Baron Corbin action figure. He's like a kid on Christmas Day, and he immediately went and ran upstairs to put it in his bag because he didn't want anyone else to touch it because it came from Chad. So just a couple fun Legend moments for me. I'm sure we'll have tons more to talk about tonight. But who else wants to go?
I'll tell a story about C2E2. So you all know I dressed up as Peter Petruski, also known as Paste Pot Pete. And I thought I pulled off a good job, but the best part was when Legend showed up, and I was the one guy who I knew would know who the character was. He loves the Frightful Four, and in all honesty, Petruski is his favorite. But he used the proper nomenclature and called him Peter Petruski. I thought that was great. He didn't say, "There's Paste Pot Pete." He ran into me and he goes, "Look, it's Peter Petruski." And he's right there, and a bunch of people around were trying to guess who I was. I had somebody call me Glue Man and a bunch of other weird names. And he just said, "Get over here." And we wanted to take a picture. And that picture I put on YouTube that day. And I had more, other than Tony Sanders put on Instagram, that was the highlight picture. So if you ever watch any of my videos, my favorite moments of hanging out with the Legend was the picture he got to take with Paste Pot Pete. And for me to act on that persona was my favorite moment there. Besides the fact that he's taught me how to do it, literally. So, good, quick story.
You're muted, Chad.
Chad, mute.
Where's Chad?
Chad's muted.
Where's Chad?
Chat is muted. Hey, let's take a look at the chat really quick. Ed D, Comics and Games, thanks for stopping by. Fish Tropic, thanks for stopping by.
Fish Tropic, my first subscriber. I met him through the Legends live auction. That guy's
one
awesome.
person that we always have,
Mr. Gretzky,
right now. Comics Mix Explained, gone too soon.
Oh man.
Man, he could tell. I bet he could tell a good story about Legend.
No, he doesn't remember any of it.
I don't remember.
But John, and I'm gonna, with your background in education and the girls and everything, like Legend is the perfect teacher because he will do anything in his power to keep the peace and try to keep the peace. Even if it gets him in some hot water sometimes with other people, but at the end of the day, the man only cares about this community, and that's one of the things that was one of the driving forces behind the Comic Corp. And when he decided to be a part of the Comic Corp and write that mission statement. Now, I've had conversations with all of you, one-off and everything, and Jose and I have had probably the most recently. And he said, "What do you want the Comic Corp to be?" And I said, "Well, I want it to be a community channel." And that's 100% the Legends direction. And when he retired from his live shows on his own channel, all he wants to do is put his attention on the Comic Corp and drive that. And I can't say anything more. and I think you've been on quite a few shows with him, right, John?
Very few, actually, just a handful, but mostly. I mean, I got to know Legend through his auctions, and then when I found his channel, I caught one of his Legend Live Truth episodes, and it was about jealousy, and it was amazing. It was like the best sermon I had ever been to in church. Like, it was just phenomenal. The amount of truth coming out of his channel in that moment was amazing. But I was gonna say, you mentioned like behind the scenes kind of stuff and how he's like so involved in helping and working with other content creators and guiding people. And I know when he started to back off of auctions, he started helping Alec at White Whale Comics to teach him how to do auctions, or what he was doing to do auctions, and how Alec could adapt that. And I would say it's a testament to how hard he works and how much he cares, because anybody who knows Alec knows I've been trying to teach that guy for months, and it's not easy. Clearly, if Legend is putting that much effort in, that's hard work. I just respect the effort.
Shout out to White Whale Comics. Gone too soon. That poor boy.
Poor boy. In our conversation with Legend last night, and we told him, like, I didn't want to be disrespectful. I wanted to ask him if he minded us doing this for him, and he said, absolutely not. Only if C. Wood and Alec would be the host. So I was like, I'm down.
Respect.
Brett has art in the chat. Legend is a legend because he's a fucking legend. Truer words have never been spoken.
Now, Ken, you know him for a while, and I mean, he calls you his sister.
Okay, so I've got a lot of memories with Legend through YouTube. He was one of the first big channels to just kind of like take me in. This was back when he was still a part of Blaster Stash It. I mean, and he was just so welcoming as far as everyone throughout Blaster Stash It. But so many memories watching him on the Sea of Thieves stream with all the art germ jokes, because both Alex, the comic hoarder, and I were in his chat. So it became a huge running meme, that entire video. We all just kept typing in R germ. But probably the one story that hits me the most to home is got into a little bit of drama here in the YouTube community about a year ago. And I was about ready to delete my channel and just leave completely. Wow. And it was really bad for me, just really emotionally at the time. And Legend reached out to me and was like, hey, you got a good channel. I like your content. I like you as a person. And we just had a little bit of a heart-to-heart. And he's like, don't cry about it. Don't worry about any of the haters. He's like, you're awesome. And you keep doing what you have to for you. And he really helped pick me back up and bring me back into the community. And I will always love Legend for that, because if I didn't have that conversation with Legend, I probably wouldn't be in the community still, to be completely honest. I wouldn't have had all the opportunities that I have now. I wouldn't be a part of this great panel or this great channel, Comic Corp, and be talking to all these great people. I definitely wouldn't know some of them. And you know what? Thank you, Legend. You definitely helped me out when I was in a pretty low spot, and I will always love you for that.
It's amazing, because it's exactly the greatest thing about Legend. Katren just brought up perfectly. Legend is a teacher to all of us, and John brought it up, and Jay and Chad brought it up. Legend is a teacher to each of us in the community, and it's not just been in the YouTube. It's been on life and how to deal with some controversy or some adversary that some of us experienced on our short term on YouTube. but he knows because he's been around since the beginning. But his advice is, I at first he sent me a long Legends Truth about what to deal with it, and I did exactly that. And I immediately started just saying better content, better time, being a giver. And Katren is the perfect example of what happened a year ago that she was talking about, how that is exactly the greatest thing about Legend. I think we can all say is he's a legend because he has trained us, and his legacy with everything that's going on, his legacy will always be, he is the Comic Corp. He is the good part of YouTube, the good stuff. He's the giving part of YouTube.
Absolutely is. It's so much so. I mean, one thing. So John and I were talking to him the night before he got sick, and at 7, I think it was like 5 a.m. I get a text message. It says, "Look at your Facebook message," and he sent me all these messages, and he's like, "You need to reach out to this person, this person, this person, this person. Tell them I'm okay." And like he had a game plan. Like, what he wanted me to say, what he wanted me to tell him. Some people that like I don't talk to as much as like the people on the panel, but like he said, reach out to Israel, tell him I'm sorry I can't do his an AOK tonight, and reach out to Mr. Galvin, tell him I love him, tell him to stop sending me stuff though. Because I mean the guy cares more than anything, and he really, really does. I mean, he may say some smart ass comments every now and then, but hell, they're funny. And they're not intended to hurt anybody's feelings. They're just a lot of busting on your chops. And that's where he is. Except for he hates Paul. He thinks Paul is old and miserable.
I like Paul.
And I couldn't agree more.
And I like
Legend and I have been, we've been through it all. We've gone full circle. You know, we were on Blaster Stash together for a long time. We've been here together. And, you know, a couple people have touched on it. One of the greatest things about Legend is he is, you know, everybody knows this on-screen stuff, but he is relentless behind the scenes helping anybody out. He will help you. He'll give you advice. He'll help you. Unless you ask for OBS, then he's like, well, OBS is different for everybody. You're screwed. And, you know, when I first met Legend, my initial reaction was probably the same as most of you, as this dude's batshit crazy.
But fun.
If you sit there and actually listen to what he says, you realize his heart it wouldn't fit in a dump truck. I mean, the man cares about everybody. Him and I have been through some stuff together. You know, he's helped me through some stuff. I've helped him through some stuff. And he's a true friend. That's the most important takeaway with Legend.
Farmhand too.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's all about that farmhand. I'll tell you what, I've been doing this YouTube thing for long enough that I don't really do this YouTube thing anymore, to be honest. I like doing these live shows, but the majority of the reason I got into YouTube is I saw other people sharing their comics, and I was like, hey, man, I can share my comics too. And then I had like 8 subscribers. One of them was my sister. I'd share my comics. Nobody would watch my videos. I just didn't even really interact with anybody. And what I would do though is I'd lurk sometimes in live shows. And I'll tell you what, the first man to ever say Drew Manchu on the internet, to my knowledge, is the Great Legend, shouting me out in one of his chats, because I decided I was going to start talking to some people whose videos I had seen. I see everybody gathering for this man coming to his live show on Friday night. It was real fun, man. And for the first time, I think that I felt like I was part of a community instead of just one dude saying, hey, I picked up Detective Comics this week. It was pretty good. You know, and that's what I was doing. And now I have friends. Now this guy who I was watching, like, shit, look at all his subs. Look at all the people who want to be a part of his chat. Now he's a dude I play video games with on the reg. You know, he's a good guy. He's a friend. And you know, if I needed something, I know I could call him and ask him for anything, pretty much. Good dude, man. Solid guy.
But he cheats like a villain when it comes to wrestling.
Look,
I will tell you right now.
I'm
Him and
saying
Carson are
right
two
now.
of the most horrible people to play wrestling. So
Hashtag heels.
yeah, I mean,
Dirty, rotten scoundrel.
Hashtag Sammy and KO show.
they
That's all I
put
know.
me and Drew.
There's a
I mean,
rhyme for you.
literally, they put me and Drew on a team, and Drew and I don't know how to tag. We're on a
Dude,
tag team.
I know how to tag, but I can't get on the apron without getting in the ring for 16 fucking minutes.
And
That's the most infuriating thing that ever happened to me.
And then if you're not even playing a tag match with them,
Damn!
they'll start beating you up regardless. I mean, and then if Legend disappears, he's grabbing steel chairs and he's gonna power bomb you on them and then he's just gonna take pictures and then make fun of you on the internet and then write songs about you.
Yeah, I know I've made it in life since I've had Great Legend write a song about me and Drew Gulak. That's my life is complete.
Bear Island comment? Did we meet Bear? I didn't know we met.
Yes,
Bear.
we met Bear. I met him twice.
absolutely,
Chad.
Adam.
I didn't meet Bear Island
I
Comics.
met Bear Island.
I think
Yes,
I missed him,
Bear
but
Island, what's up?
I really dig his content.
I like Bear Island.
I was.
Bear Island's gonna be joining us on the next. What's that show called, Kat?
On
Thursday.
Off the Issues.
Yes,
Something-
outside the
issue.
Outside the Issues. It's going to be our entertainment show, and currently we are doing a Game of Thrones. Yeah.
Bear Island
Shameless
Comics said he was afraid of me, apparently, and avoided me on purpose.
What?
You're not the only one, Bear Island.
He's not that
You
scary.
kind of threatened half the world on the Friday night karaoke night.
Well, I'm just a Care Bear cousin on the inside, so
We know you're cuddly. We know you're cuddly. You love to cuddle. We all know that.
He was cuddling was spectacular.
I'm gonna drop some Legend truth on you. Drew Manchu, he's a brony.
Anybody who met Drew while he was trying to get in line for Prez will probably never want to meet him again.
I was with him.
JD was right there. He was ground zero for my Hulk rage. Jesus.
Yeah. When they came back, it says, "Look, George may not get to you." Everybody was like, except for one guy who was like, "What?" There are 400 people in this line, and Drew is the loudest one. And I'm sitting next to him, like, "Is that
I
your
want him
friend?"
to hear me.
Absolutely not.
Hey, I gotta ask the C2E2 crowd. Do you remember when Legend was in that room when we were in the living room and he decided to give us how he was going to give story time to the little kids?
The
CD.
And then he goes, "All right, Timmy, even though you spelled your name Tommy."
Timing.
And he just he's like, "You're too weird. I'll keep on going." It's just
And then
so
the music he had playing.
The one where it was Israel, Chad, Carson, and I sitting around, and he had his phone out with the beat, and he rapped, and then he included each of us and something about each of us in that rap. I think Chad peed your pants, if I'm not mistaken. You did pee your pants. You did flat out said, "I just peed. I just peed." It's so true. Legend made Chad piss his pants. A grown man piss his pants at 2:30 in the morning in Chicago at a convention. It happened.
And the funny thing about all that was
This was probably also after about 3 bottles of Jameson.
But Legend kept on saying this. He walked up and he's like, "Man, I tell you what, that Jose dude, damn, he don't stop."
Well, that's Jose got out his flow charts and his calendars and his.
I legitimately don't know when JB slept that whole trip. I really don't. I don't think he did.
I was too excited to sleep. Too excited.
JB, I remember you actually saying you were going to crash at 4:30 in the morning, and I saw you at 9 o'clock. Then I'm like, "Did you sleep?" You're like, "A little, like maybe like 20 minutes."
I felt more than that, but you know, I slept for 4 hours on the flight over, and that was the longest period of sleep that I had gotten in like a month on the flight over. Anyway, Like, can I tell a story? Because
absolutely, that's why I segued to you.
Not only did it, was it amazing meeting everybody, because, like I said, I've only been around since December, right? So everybody's a star to me. I mean, I walked in the room and I was blown away. I was like, man, these are the people I'm watching on TV, on YouTube. They're awesome. Everybody's regular people, by the way. Okay. Everybody's regular, even Legends regular people.
I'm kind of a prima donna. So that's just me.
But cuddles. But you love to cuddle.
But
I'm all about the cuddles.
I get to go to my first convention, and I'm going with Great Legend. We're there at the booth together. And one of the coolest moments, I don't even know if it was my moment. It was kind of more his moment, but I was part of the moment because I got to witness the moment. When people are walking through and they recognize, nobody's recognized me, by the way, but people would recognize him. And there was a couple of people that recognized him that were straight fanboys. It's like, Legend. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, can I take a picture? And I'm like, full blown, like, celebrity status kind of stuff. And I'm like, and he's digging it. He's got the smile and he's, oh yeah, give me the picture. So I thought that was just a great moment, and he was accommodating to everybody. And of course, as soon as the kid leaves, he goes, yeah, all right. He's there for everybody. He was there for everybody. And I have had many a conversation with him via Instagram over all types of subjects, even off top, things you're never supposed to talk about. We talk religion. I mean, we've talked everything, and he is a genuinely amazing person. I mean, not just the big persona that you see on YouTube and, this is the Great Legend coming at you. That is more than that. There's so much more than that, especially when you actually get to talk to him about life, because he is dropping knowledge on you that is just, it's not comic book knowledge. It's not YouTube knowledge. It is life knowledge. It is applicable in any situation. And that's the kind of person he is. He's there to share. He's a teacher. He is a teacher.
To teach you how to say applicable. But that's
applicable. All right. Who's next?
Let's get into our picks of the week, I guess. Let's kind of like do what we
on the rails.
All right, Carson. You let's get it back on track.
Right. We'll get it going here. So I just read these two.
Hold on, really quick before we do get it started. Is there a link in the chat? Because this was also kind of a reminder. I know tomorrow we're doing an auction, but if there's a link in the chat, if anybody wants to help Legend with the bill, he's gonna have some bills coming. That's just the way life is. And then tomorrow we're gonna do an auction, and I've had some people reach out to me and offer to donate books to the auction so that 100% of those proceeds on those books would go to the Great Legend. And I absolutely said yes. So I'm accepting those right now. I think Robert Galvin was the first one to send some books over. And if anybody else would like to send some books over for tomorrow's auction, you can, just go ahead and hit any one of us up on the panel, and I'm sure we'll make it happen. Okay?
Paulie, do you want to give the PayPal?
PayPal is onecomiccor@gmail.com. Simple, easy.
It's PayPal. The reason we're doing PayPal, we're not monetized, so we don't have Super Chat. And then second, Super Chat takes 30%. So if you want to give something directly to Legend, we're taking it. He has it. Carson just put it in. Carson, it's Comic Core without the S.
Yeah, there's no S on the end.
What? Jeez.
You want me to fix it?
Oh boy.
There's that.
Yeah, so we're putting it in the chat, and it's also in the description and in the video itself. So if you guys want to,
try again. There we go.
Well, here, I like what Brett Heshart just said. Legend Palooza weekend. It might be free comic. It might be made. Fourth be with you. Brett Heshart called it Legend Palooza. I think that's a great name for it. So, I plan on broadcasting tomorrow from the court, doing something here. There you go. Mess with the brand. From a few free comic book days, I'll be attending. So that'll be fun. But yeah, I plan on donating a few. I'll be chiming in on the auction to do a round or two. A few books.
And I know we're trying to get
Legend-related books.
Big, is it Big Bear?
Big Bear.
Big Bear. Yeah.
We're trying.
It's awesome.
And absolutely, we got to get Who Dat if it's a Legend auction. It ain't no auction like a Legend auction if Who Dat ain't in the auction.
Wonder if Jason Smith's available. That'd be awesome. Get that Jason Smith, Mr. Media Mailman himself.
Oh, I love when Carson talks about media mail. It's great.
So I saw Big E, home of the New York Warriors, was in the chat earlier, and he was giving a shout out to Legend and saying that Legend taught him how to do the auction. And my first auction was with Legend. My first person ever selling something to was Manny. My first complaint was Manny. my first phone call the next morning was, dude, why did you send that media mail from Legend? He goes, you got to make that right. So I learned the hard way.
Oh, I kind of forgot about that, but I didn't. Good old media.
They're never going to let Chad forget about it.
Nope. Anyway, I guess we'll go ahead and dive in the picks of the week here. So, since this is the Legends show kind of tonight, I got 3 good reads here to talk about real quick. So the one I got this week was Green Lantern issue 7. So awesome Grant Morrison run going on. We finally got our kind of weird issue. Usually in those Grant Morrison runs, you get that.
Oh, I thought you said we kind of got our weird guest.
Yeah, just joining us. I'll try to do my best Legend impression because that's what we're doing tonight. We got Well Comics. What's going on?
Damn.
The show can now begin.
The natural.
The
natural.
Now we can start. Oh,
he's been re-nicknamed. He's the anti-joy equation.
The anti-joy equation. That's me.
But the funny thing about this is now we have representation from every Comic Corp show.
That's great that you mentioned that, because I see a future where every one of you people on the panel have all of your content listed, the stuff that's on your channel on Comic Corp, so that everybody sees it, so that Comic Corp is the community. Comic Corp has its shows, but then everybody else who's part of Comic Corp lists on the Comic Corp homepage on that banner. That is what the banner should be.
Absolutely. I tried to, but I'm not really good at that.
Well, I'm going to help you work on that.
Golden Guys is about to be a weekly show after this week. We're going to take a week off, and Golden Guys is going to be a weekly show.
Does that mean I have to put a different person onto Sophia's face every week?
No, you got the
actually, if Paul can commit to weekly, we might have Paul as there, and we might have that as Golden Guys with a guest.
All right.
We'll see. Yes, we have something like between DS Comics Knights of Old and I, we had like 18 inquiries about being on the show. Wow. And everybody's saying that they really like the show, especially Golden Age guys, or people getting into the Golden Age saying this is the real crust of Golden Age collecting right now. So that, and we do have plenty more content to come.
We're gonna
let's get the picks of the week thing. Sorry.
And then Mark can announce the new show.
Mark's eating.
Yeah, so that's part of the show.
When
that is
Mark
the show.
Eating? If
It's
Mark
gonna be
is out
me.
of the box,
It's going to be me narrating what Mark eats. It's going to be pretty epic.
All right. Anyway, actually, you know what? Before I get the more picks of the week, I want to get back to this chat because it's been far too long since we got to the chat. We got Chris Barrett in the chat. He says Wu-Tang Comics. Who doesn't love some Wu-Tang Clan? We still got Robert Galvin hanging in the chat. Brett S. Art says Comic Corp Justice League. Yep, that's kind of the original premise, actually. Come to think of it, we still got Sam Stain. We got our pal Don in the chat for Mastodon Comics and Collecting. What's going on, man? We still got Bear Island Comics dropping those awesome one-liners in the chat. We got Flaming Sheila. How's it going tonight, Flaming Sheila?
Hi.
We got Bob World in the
Pretty
chat.
nice to
He
meet
designed
you. Hi.
some logos for us, I
Hello, Sheila.
believe. Love us some Bob World. And, Gone Too Soon, we still got Comics Misexplained in the chat from Comic Corp Unlimited. And Who Dat Comics and Movies, he says, I think I'm going to take over for a Legends auction in July. I think I keep it called Legends Live Auction since we are all Legends. That's a phenomenal idea, Who Dat. I would love to see Who Dat kind of take the torch and carry it for himself. I think that would be very appropriate and awesome, man.
What's John saying?
What's that, Jean Grey?
This is Jean Grey. She's here to say hi to Legend.
John, what's John holding up?
He's holding up a thing that says Alex's favorite book of 2019, and he's got deceased.
Yeah, I knew we were getting closer to the books that everybody read this week, and Alec.
So you wanted to just jump me
take time? Go ahead, buddy. You go ahead.
And take my turn. So first, can I just make a small request?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
John, if you have something to say to me, you say it to my face.
Say it to the screen.
Shut your mouth. Be the world's longest pick for the week. It's going to go into next week.
I could talk about deceased for hours.
We kind of did that already.
Yeah, that's right.
We got Green Lantern.
That's Legends picked.
Oh, yep. I enjoyed this one. The whole story takes place inside the ring. We get that weird Morrison issue, as I said. We got that Farmhand. I didn't get a chance to read this last week, so I read it this week. It's still very solid. I like the way the story starts out this time, where you kind of see what happened to our main character Zeke's mother, and then when he tries to call Jedediah, unfortunately, he is not even there to see his wife pass away because his mind is on his work and not his family. So you kind of see why Zeke has this resentment for his father right out the gate in this book. So that was cool. And then, of course, Fantastic Four issue 9. We finally get the final part of this Doctor Doom versus Galactus and the FF storyline. Dan Slott's been killing it on this book. And then maybe my overall pick of the week. Probably Justice. I really enjoyed this week's Young Justice. We finally kind of get to see how they're all remembering each other, basically. So Robin, with the help of Zatanna, starts to remember his old pal Connor Kent because me and Chad were kind of talking about this previously. I believe it's for that Detective Comics James Tynion run where you get to see this evil Batman version of Tim Drake, based on the versions you saw of these characters in Jeff Johns' Teen Titans run. So there's a lot of craziness going on in this book that luckily I followed everything up until this point, so it makes sense, but I could see this only making sense to a certain few. So I really enjoyed this book. So Alec Whitewell, what is your pick of the week?
I don't read comics, I only spec.
All right.
It's good. Alex talking.
Oh,
Come on, Liz.
Is it my turn?
Alec, if his wife gets on here in a second, we need to ask about their new show.
Yes. Katren, the book, by the way, is Shanghai Red.
Yeah, that's a great.
The book that Liz is reading right now is called Shanghai Red.
Okay.
It's by Image. It's she likes books about women killing people. So I'm in trouble.
Okay.
Can Liz?
It's true. It's absolutely.
Can Liz announce the name of the show?
Is the trade out for it?
Yes, there is a trade out. It's only 5 long total.
Are we going to announce the first one?
When do you want to do the show, honey? We try to stick to a schedule. Yes.
It's like a weird comedy routine where he's talking to nobody.
What day works best?
Okay, you let.
We don't want to go over somebody else's.
Kat, you let me know what day works best.
Have her tell us the name of it, JD.
Oh, Liz, you got to say the name.
I feel like you're setting me up here.
So setting you up. Come here.
They're setting you up.
Fine. You're
a new Comic Corp show.
It's called. Come here. No, she's not coming over here.
Come here.
Hi, Liz.
All right, Kat, do you want to announce it?
I feel like if I say it, it's gonna be a big GIF or something in the community for a while. Okay, so brand new show on Comic Corp. It is going to be.
Let her talk.
It is going to be this lovely woman who is off screen and myself, and we are going to be reviewing one book in particular together. And the name of the show, drumroll please, is going to be Two Girls, One Comic. No, I did not name it.
Cue the Benny Hill theme.
Alec has a smile.
The yakety sax. Anybody wants to download it?
You're going to get some weird clicks on that.
Yeah.
And it's a live show too.
Did not name it.
The best was Liz saying, "I don't want to go over anybody else's show." That ship has sailed. You're going to be up against somebody.
Yeah. You'll be fine.
It's probably going to be the highest rated Comic Corp show of all time.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong. That's how the magic happens here on the Comic Corp.
Whenever works with her schedule, just send me whenever and we'll get together.
Yeah. She pretty much has. Yeah, pretty much any night. It's good. We'll work it out definitely.
All right.
Anyway, that's
Back
good.
to Alec.
All right, Alec, what is your pick of the week?
I think John already spoiled the fun and said the best book of the week.
As per usual.
This heaping pile of garbage.
Guys,
Not
thank you.
it.
Thank you very much, Alex. For
Terrible.
I loved your show this week because you hated it as much as I did.
It was.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Two dumpster fires way down.
Yep.
If you didn't pick it up, check out Katren's review of it. I couldn't express how much Carson and I felt the same way. Any book that takes 3 artists to complete a number 1, that's a problem.
Yeah, we touched on that.
It was terrible.
It was bad all around, and I feel ashamed to have
feel
stuck into buying it. And
I could care less that Robert Englund could sign a cover for me if I sent it to John's Comics with Kids, but I'm not going to.
But it's gorgeous, the cover.
cover is cool, but I'll just download an image of it and put it as my desktop instead.
There you go.
Because I will not be reading issue 2. No, thank you very much.
So what did you like?
Meet the Skrulls.
Nice.
Great. Continues to impress. Under the radar. Read it. It is. Hey, look, John's got that on hand. And
good.
Terry Moore, 5 years, because how could I not plug a Terry Moore book? And I haven't had a chance to read anything else because I was not prepared to be on this show because I was not invited.
I tried to invite you last night. You were sleeping.
Oh, that's true. Fair point. Okay.
I'll go real quick. Just get this out of the way. My 2 picks of the week are Marvel related, and they are 2 great books that came out. And other than the Golden and Silver I've been reading, and DC app, get it, support it. It's worth it. There isn't a better app you can get out there.
Yeah, you can read Deceased on it.
But I don't even care about that. I'm more about the Alan Moore Swamp Thing alone right now. But I'm excited about this. Savage Avengers surprised me.
Yeah, so I did not pick that up, and I keep hearing how good it is.
Okay, I like Jerry Dugan. I liked his run on the Infinity Warps. I liked his run on the Infinity Wars. I liked his run on a lot of books, but I feel like he tries too hard. This is somebody who curtailed him, maybe somebody, an editor or something, and said, have fun. And this is real. That sounds real good, Chad. This is real fun. This is going to be the most fun of all the Marvel books out there right now that you don't need to think about too much. This is going to be it. The Wolverine versus Conan fight alone is worth the book is phenomenal. But I'm going to say that my pick of the week is going to be War of the Realms #3. This is, especially after watching Endgame twice, where you bounce from area to area, and I touched on this in Unlimited a little bit. That prepares you for War of the Realms because it does the same thing. Not different times, different realms. And it's so good. The artwork is Russell Dowderman and Jason Aaron have a chemistry like of an artist and a writer who've been working together. It's been seven years they've been working together, but it's like a Roy Thomas, Buscema, and who's Tom Palmer run on any book, where those guys were together on every book forever. It's so solid. War of the Realms, absolutely. 1, 2, and 3 is all you need, and you'll be fine. You can catch up real quick. I do recommend the Venom one if you're interested for the background story on the Venom in here. Different kind of Venom in here, but still great stuff. Conan, Wolverine, and a big surprise ending on here of who shows up, but he's on the cover, so you can figure out one of these people shows up at the end.
So spoilers for book club next week.
Oh, so, what's book club? Oh yeah,
you on it with War of the Realms 1, 2, and 3.
Sure.
I'll do a real quick one because this is going to be surprising. There's no DC book that I liked this week.
Oh wow,
that's surprising.
Damn!
Damn moment.
So it is Savage Avengers, and I picked these two up, and these are awesome.
Dude, I told you that book is phenomenal.
This one, okay, I understand it's kind of where he's at in the 60s, but you read the 70s, what the hell?
Yeah, man. They do the Clone Saga and they get it right.
I'm thoroughly enjoying that, and also because I don't know where they're at, is my Daredevils.
So they did the Clone Saga and did it right. So did they just reprint the books from the 90s?
Yeah.
No, they streamlined it and it made sense, and you got it all
I'm
in
joking.
one
That was
issue.
terrible.
All in one issue.
Sweet translucent chromium cover.
I mean, this is so good. I mean, such a good read. I am so looking forward to this and I hope to see where that's going to go. It's probably my favorite Spider-Man book in probably past 5 years.
It's fantastic, man. I'm glad you're reading it.
So
nice.
So we know. I mean, obviously, we know. What did you do this week besides like sleep, Paul?
Press books.
Did you press anything cool?
Yeah, I pressed it in Avengers #1 for someone who's not sitting at his desk right now.
So what did you take it to after you cleaned it? Did you wash it?
Yep, cleaned it, pressed it. Him and I both think it may be pushing a 2.5 now.
Where was it?
1.5.
Look at that doubling. That's what Paul does.
There you go.
Yep.
And of course, tomorrow's Free Comic Book Day, so that's when I'll be hitting my shops. But in honor of Legend, I am going to just, whether they came out or not, Farmhand and Fantastic Four.
On digital.
Yeah. On digital.
Yep.
Reading them on the crapper.
Drew, how about you, my man?
Oh man, so much great stuff came out this week, man. I loved a lot of Marvel books. I thought Deadpool was really freaking good. They got this character Good Night. He's like a Batman allegory almost that Deadpool created. He's got ties to Weasel, and there's magic, and there's dragon slaying, time hopping, all kinds of nonsense going on. But the art is solid. Scotty Young's doing the writing. The jokes mostly land. It was great. Cosmic Ghost Rider was good. I think Dead Man Logan finally found its stride. The second half of this is taking place in the Wasteland, so that's good shit. We got War of the Realms, might have been the best Marvel book to come out. I thought that was pretty fantastic. I picked up the variant. That's the Marco Cicchetto.
Cicchetto.
It's the Young Guns, baby. Young Guns variant.
It's pretty slick.
Yeah, it is. Oh, man, if you're reading Walking Dead, something finally happened in this book. Rick Grimes got shot in the chest.
Spoilers.
Oh, man, is he going to die? Who knows? You got to read the next issue to find out. But it was definitely good. Year of the Villain, man. I picked up this 1 in 500. I got actually all 3 of the variants here. Thought that Lex Luthor was pretty cool. I thought this was pretty neat for a little preview issue, quarter a piece. For all the reader copies out there. And the middle story was some Bendis stuff that wasn't even bad. So that had that going for it. Savage
Where's
Avengers.
Drew, and what have you done with them?
But here's my pick of the week, guys, and everybody's going to think I'm crazy. Finally, there's a DC event out there that is really good, and it's because they ripped off Marvel Zombies and just made this really shitty looking book where all this cool shit happens, and it's called Deceased, man. Yeah, this is cool. I like it. Is it ugly? Fuck yeah, it's ugly. It's really, really ugly. It's like one of the ugliest books I've ever seen. I think that the rendition of John and Damien are like, what kind of generic ass kids do you got in this comic book wearing Batman, Superman t-shirts because you can't draw? Like that to me was hilarious, but at the same time, I like the anti-life equation gets techno-virus kind of thing introduced through social media. We got Batman and we got the DC zombies, man. That's what this book is. It's DC zombies. It's a ripoff. But I'm having fun with it. At least it's not a slog like Heroes and Crickets, or and it actually probably is going to come out unlike Doomsday Clock. So hey, man, give me an event that'll actually come out.
The story, I'll agree with you. I kind of dig the story, but
yeah, it's easy for a book to come out when you put 7 different artists on a single issue.
Yeah, but look at this
That's
Superman.
fine. Gary Frank's Doomsday Clock doesn't look any better than that, and it takes fucking forever for that to come out.
You're blaming on. Let's just. I mean, let's just say this is a comic book show. Let's be honest. Jim Lee can't edit for shit.
Dan Didio can't edit for shit either. But taking the cake for pick of the week because I picked up this bad boy this week. So
nice.
That's gonna take the cake.
Comic Corp is loving this right now.
Yeah, this is a gradable copy, man.
Yeah, looks sharp.
Got to send it.
I want to see the rocket goodness.
Yeah, while you were away, I mentioned that I had pressed your Avengers 1.
Nice. Oh.
And I think they asked me what I thought I brought it to, and I said a 2.5 maybe.
I'm praying for it too. I gave you a 1.5 if that. This is my big pickup of the week. I want to show this one just because I can.
You keep on showing more picks of the week.
It's not a pick of the week. You can't buy this anywhere. It's 1943.
Well, you can buy it somewhere. You got it.
You got it.
You picked it.
Look at this.
You just said
No
this is my pick of the week.
No wonder Cersei's so
Alex,
pissed.
did he not say this is my pick of the week? And
Yes,
then
he did.
No
like
wonder
an hour-
Cersei's so pissed. He's got all the elephants.
I said pick
I know it's Friday night, but this is not the hunt.
That's true. I wouldn't win the hunt though. Jeffrey would win with
no books. That was amazing. I gotta tell you. So back to the Legend, and guys, again, if you want to donate to Legend, our email address is in the description. I know it would be greatly appreciated. He is going to have some serious bills coming his way. Again, if you wanted to donate, absolutely. Tomorrow we've got the auction. Alec, you weren't on the beginning of the show, so I have to relay a message from the Legend. We asked Legend, since you're canceling your auction, is there any way, is there anything we can do for you? Can we do your auction? And he said, yes, only if Carson and Alec host it.
Correct. The Natural. Alec.
Yep, The Natural.
But you're doing one on Sunday?
Yeah, that's not my concern. I'm working till 10:30, so I'm happy to join after that and host the second half. But
yeah, I was gonna say we'll take turns, bud.
If that works, I'm 100% in, and I'm humbled and without words.
That's mostly just because you heard somebody say that Deceased was a better book than Heroes.
Yeah, I'm still reeling from that.
I can't wait to talk all about Heroes in Crisis when I finally read it all.
But Alec,
Don't bash my crisis.
Alec, there's 3 people that would like to join Story Comic Corps when you guys do Age of Apocalypse. And do you mind if we come on with you?
Yeah, let's have 12 people on. Let's do it.
look at him right there. He's drawing.
Who is it?
Drew Manchu.
Yeah,
I got the omnibus, man. I'm ready.
Do it. I only have the trades.
Since we're plugging shows, John, the list is adding this week. If we're doing the list, we're bringing on a special guest, Mr. Robert Galvin himself.
Yeah, we are.
That should be a good show.
That'll be a good one.
The list is going to hit the G-spot.
My favorite show to watch is John's Comics Kids on Saturday mornings when I have a horrible hangover and I wake up. And Chad was up late last night.
Yeah.
Well, I'm there getting my hair done by 2 little girls who just want to read comic books and not do anything. So I respect.
It's good.
Absolutely. Katren, how about you? What do you got? Pick.
All right. So everyone's already talked about it, but Deceased issue 1. So I did do a review of this. If you haven't already watched it, I mean, check it out later. But I mean, everyone's already touched on this. The art really flip-flops. I think the worst bit of it is the cyborg torture scene. This art is horrendously bad. I think the best part of it is literally the Bat family zombified fight at the very end. I'm still going to pick it up just because I did love the ending. I'm not going to lie. I'm a hardcore Bat family fan. And the fact that Batman may have just been turned into a zombie by 2 of the Robins, I'm definitely still going to be checking that out. A number of really great variants there. The Raid, I'm kind of on the fence about. But my actual pick of this week,
thank goodness,
came out today.
Dude, I had Alex on full screen this entire time, just watching him react. He's like, no way do 2 people on the show pick Deceased. That's the best book of the week.
No. My actual pick of the week, it literally just came out today. It's on Netflix. If you haven't had the chance to watch it, please do. That's Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile. That's the brand new Ted Bundy movie starring Zac Efron and Lily Collins. It's a Netflix. Okay, so it's Netflix and then limited theatrical release. But it's amazing throughout. John Malkovich is a part of it. Jim Parsons is in it. It is amazing. It definitely looks at Ted Bundy more through the family and the social view of him, which I know there was kind of an issue of people saying like, oh, well, you're romanticizing a serial killer.
They did.
I didn't get that watching the movie personally.
Anybody here Discovery Bay he'll tell you this. Ted Bundy in real life, when that was going on, I remember playing Russian Attack in a candy store, and they had in the newspapers, they were talking about Ted Bundy's trial. And it was literally like girls and everybody else was saying, he's too good looking to be a killer. And it was
dreamy is what they kept saying.
And I'm a kid, I don't know this, but it was like big news. It was like, who shot JR times 10 because it was real. Except this guy.
Just look at Mark, though. Look at Mark back here, just being quiet because he knows he's going to get hit.
Ted Bundy was handsome for a serial killer. Let's be clear. He's not Zac Efron handsome.
Okay. I think you're handsome for a serial killer.
Well,
serial killer.
I remembered looking at the Ted Bundy case during my dissertation in school and just being fascinated. I think the scariest part of that isn't how manipulative Ted Bundy was. It was how crazy the women around him were, which I've never understood that. Like, I understand you're in a relationship. This man is accused of something. You might want to stand by him. You believe there's no possible way. But a random woman sees a guy on the television screen and says, oh, well, he's too handsome to have ever killed anyone. No, you don't know that guy. He's not dreamy. He probably killed a bunch of people. And he actually ended up killing a bunch of people. So very well done. I thoroughly enjoyed the film. Highly suggest it if you haven't seen it.
I think we're watching that real soon. That was brought up.
Hey, Katren.
What's up?
You want to do a serial killer show?
A what?
Hello.
You want to do a show about serial killers?
A serial killer thing?
A serial killer show. Or are you not really that into serial killers? You're just into this movie?
My degree's in law, so what do you want to do?
I don't know. We'll talk about it off here.
All right.
I ran upstairs because when you were doing that, I wanted to show you my wife's coasters that she has for when guests come.
Wrong spot to take a pause there. I want to end upstairs. I want to show you my wife's.
Trying to breathe. So these are our coasters that we have.
Why'd you get excited at the coasters, but not at my idea for a show?
Look, I was upstairs. I was running, my man.
Oh, wait. There's Ted. There's Ted.
Yep. It's been there's Ted, Albert Fish, Ed Gein.
What's more?
I guess Paul should be on that show too.
Dahmer.
But I couldn't find the other ones.
Fish was a sick fuck.
Wow, where did she
Yeah,
get
man.
that?
You ever read the letter?
Oh yeah.
Her phone case is John Wayne Gacy.
That's weird.
Wow.
Like as the clown.
She elected to marry Chad, people.
Oh, no, they make sense now.
One of the kids I went to high school with, his father found one of Michael Ross's victims in his field in Connecticut.
You framed him. And now you run away, and now you live in Iowa.
Well, there's serial killers in Iowa. There's a bunch.
Yeah, let's talk about Paul's neighbors and shit.
Well, the most famous serial killer from Iowa actually did all his killings in Alaska. It was that guy that used to take women and take them out into the Alaska, and he'd hunt them down and shoot them.
Hey, Comic Tom is in the chat. Good to see you.
We got the killer
Mark
core.
used to go to Alaska every summer.
John's Comics and Kids says Killer Core.
The craziest things.
Jose, JB, is there any way we can get your pick of the week?
For a serial killer?
Yeah, put the serial killer of the week.
Yes.
Who's your serial killer of the week?
Night Stalker.
Anybody
Night
mention the
Stalker.
Son of
Damn
Sam? Erica went to
Are you kidding me? Ah. All right. Yeah.
I'm see. Oh my god.
He's got it.
Ready?
Talk about it, JB.
No.
Everybody, let's. Can you do me a favor, Chad?
I have a
Put the
slab of
camera
that
on
coming.
Alex the whole time that JB's talking.
No. This is no, guys. I was there for book club, and I agree with you. This thing was terrible. They could have done so much more with this. The possibilities were endless. You actually have this alternate universe that doesn't affect anything else going on, and you just give me crap. You just spent no time on this. So no, I'm not happy with that.
Serial killers in it.
Sorry. My pick of the week. You guys have already kind of. You guys have already kind of. You kind of touched on this a couple times, but I did want to mention that I just finished reading this. That comes out tomorrow for the free comic book day.
Oh yeah,
The
is that-
Avengers. And it would have been nice to have this before I read this. But this ties into this really well. So that's my my pick. So I'm going to go with that as my pick of the week. But I also wanted to mention one more thing. I don't think I'd actually ever read this until
252?
the other day.
Yeah.
This was great. Yeah, I can't believe that I never read this. This was fun, man. I mean,
That's a facsimile, by the way. Everyone who might be freaking out the way he's handling it.
oh no, yeah, this is just a facsimile one, guys. Yeah. But I had never gotten a chance to read this, and I've seen it numerous times. Never got a chance to read it. And the last thing I wanted to mention, and get that one tomorrow.
Nice.
Oh, everybody's talking about that.
Yeah,
They're talking the Carnage thing. Hey, got a question for you, JB. Have you ever read Wars?
Excuse me? Secret Wars?
Secret Wars. The
Secret
first
Wars
one.
1. Yes, I believe I have.
Secret Wars 1. If you read that, open up that book, and
I have the set right here.
look at how it's written. Every word is capitalized with either ... or exclamation. So
that's where I got it.
The entire story, they're yelling at each other. Oh my god!
Like Friday nights on Comic Con.
Yeah. So with that being said, I got to give another quick shout out. I'm going to get to the chat here real quick. Again, tonight was a celebration of our friend Legend, who is going through a difficult time in his life right now. Recently was in the hospital. He does have some serious medical conditions that are going on, and if you guys can throw a donation his way, we'll leave it in the chat. Tomorrow we are doing an auction. Some proceeds of the auction are going to help the great Legend, because he's always been here to help all of us. And again, that's it. I'm done, and it's going to Carson.
All right, so back into the chat, I put that link as requested for Chad. That is a PayPal email address if you'd like to help our pal, the great Legend, out. please do so. He's done so much for us in the community. Anything, I know he would greatly appreciate it. But let's get into this chat here. We got Whodat Comics and Movies. He says, I'd let my daughter flip through my ASM 252 all the time. That's super cool, Whodat. We got Centauri Stir Fry. He says, I keep an old Spidey 300 in the bathroom. Helps me stay regular, so everyone's keeping
Sub that guy up, one of the funniest guys in the community. So
you just won the internet.
Yeah.
Can we have that one more time?
Subscribe.
Why did you keep it 300?
Spidey 300 in the bathroom. It helps him stay regular, JD. So there you go. Helps him stay regular. We got Tony Sanders. He says the legend is the mayor 100%. Bear Island Comics. He's still in the chase. Says at least Kemper's the best Netflix serial killer ever. So we're still talking about serial killers in the chat. We got Comics with Bueller going, So shout out to Comics with Bueller. Mastodon Comics and Collecting still hanging out in the chat. Sorry, I just woke up before the show. Well, before John said, we got Comic Tom 101 still hanging out in the chat. Hey, we got Comic Spectre in the chat. Cat, close your ears real quick. He says all women are crazy. So
I am crazy. It's okay.
She keeps her boyfriend in a box.
All women are crazy. I second that.
I'll agree with that.
We got Drew's nephew, Double S. He's hanging out in the chat tonight. And
Double S, that's the other guy that we could do the wrestling show with.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. He loves him some wrestling. We got Jack Yo in the chat.
He's a wrestling fanatic. We pass it down through the family.
One singlet after another.
He wears my old singlet. He does.
My wife is sane as hell.
Who says that?
In the chat, Centauri Stir Fry.
Centauri Stir Fry, I'm sorry to find out that you're being watched by your wife. This is Centauri Stir Fry.
All a ploy.
Blink twice, Centauri.
Mark, what's the safe word, Mark? Mark, what's the safe word?
We don't talk about the safe word.
Yeah, he doesn't have one.
He is so
he gets
I think he just knows the word help.
We got Tony Sanders is in the chat. Hey?
Oh,
my wife is crazy, and she's a cat. She's a cat at Cat Red.
My safe word is harder.
There you go.
What?
Great.
We got Kachung in the chat. What's
all
going
of a sudden
on?
my wife shows up now. All of a sudden we start talking about how crazy women are. Mom just shows up.
All I heard was my safe word is harder.
Yeah, she heard Alex say that her safe word is harder. Exactly. She doesn't hear anybody else. I watch Alex on the big TV. Go ahead.
So, are you really gonna let yourself go? JD, are you really letting yourself go?
What do you mean?
Well, you said you were gonna start drinking like beer and like grow a beard because you want to go full on Thor Lebowski.
Oh, Thor Lebowski. I'm halfway there. I'm halfway there. That's gonna be my cosplay the rest of the year.
Listen, here's the shtick. I thought we already had the game plan for Baltimore. I have been growing this hair out, and there's not that much up there.
There is nothing up there, son.
Oh, shut up.
Damn.
Buying Rogaine by the case.
I've been trying to grow the hair. I've been trying to grow the hair out.
Put the legend hat back on.
I was trying to grow the hair out so we could be Booster Gold and
Harley Quinn.
No, we were gonna go as Blue Beetle and Booster Gold, Hangover style. He was gonna be. I don't know.
Chad's been using that Ron Popeil spray on.
I was gonna have like a little baby apocalypse called Carlos. What did you say? I look like Jesus?
Fat Jesus.
I don't look like fat Jesus.
You look like short-haired Jesus.
Somebody wait a couple weeks ago on this show, somebody told me like I think it was Bake the Snake. He's like, Chad, you should come down to Florida. We can get into all the clubs because you already look like Wiz. The dude that says "Family, we the best."
Wiz Khalifa?
Not Wiz Khalifa. He's from Pittsburgh. No, we the best family. What the hell?
I don't know anything about hip hop.
I don't know. Oh, DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled.
Bruce Willis.
And I'm like,
you kind of look like DJ Khaled. That's ridiculous.
Lean Beyond.
Thanks. Somebody can put a hat. I'm just.
Who's got that
Your heart will go on.
Peel spray on hair?
Anyway, so JB, you got this whole big stack of free comic book day comics. What can we expect tomorrow for free comic book day? Because I know you've been dying to show these comics. So I want to see what I need to be looking for.
I mean, I
tomorrow.
could.
Yes,
I
please.
have every single.
Every time he shows something, can we do a legend damn?
All right. So, do you guys want to see inside any of these, like the page? Do you want to see the page in here, or is that total spoiler?
Yes. I've answered for everyone. Yes.
Okay.
I want to see the pages. All right, I'm gonna click on you. There you go.
Yeah. Rock. Click on JB.
You have my full attention.
Damn.
Damn.
Yeah. No, this is the one to get, man.
Oh, is that the Spider-Man, the Venom one? Ooh.
Damn. All right, and this Avengers one too.
Paul,
This one?
give me one, brother.
Oh, this.
Damn.
Very nice.
One.
Very nice.
A lap dance to the community. Thank you.
It's the damn dance, baby.
Yeah.
Drew is bound to pull.
Community is the
I would
poll.
like to point out that Wolverine kind of looks like Thor in Endgame there.
I feel like we should
It's a
put
look,
Drew
Paul.
in front of
It's a
the
look.
screen and just have him
Sorry.
dancing while wearing that shirt. And just put him in every Comic Corp video. Damn! There you go. Really? No one else wants to do it now?
No.
Everyone else did it every other single one. No. Wait, don't
Final
leave me
spoiler.
hanging.
Can I give the big spoiler? I'm gonna give the big
okay.
spoiler.
Spoil
Can I go
it.
spoiler?
Spoil it.
Spoiler. Spoiler alert.
Spoil it.
Spoiler alert.
That one you do it for?
He's going to be a star. I guarantee you Electra's going to be a star.
All right. So then we've got
Electra. Ooh, a Grumble the Goon. Good.
Grumbling Goon,
I like Goon.
Riverdale.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Legend
loves Riverdale.
Yes, he
Does he?
does.
He oh my god, that's his favorite show.
Loves Smart.
I thought it
Move
was
that over
cool
there.
that we were getting a Spawn one.
Oh,
Yeah, I thought that was about time McFarlane agreed to do that shit.
Now,
Is that just a reprint of issue 1?
Yeah, I think this is just a reprint.
It
of
is.
issue 1, right?
funny
That is
story
fun.
about the Legend and Spawn. Maybe the second or third slab I ever bought was a Spawn #1 from the Legend during the Legends live auction. I still have it.
I got mine. Alec, thank you very much.
Stranger Things.
Stranger
is coming
Things.
out.
There you go.
Hey, that's got that Black Hammer backup with
By the way,
new
plug
first
right now,
appearances.
Stranger Things will be on Tuesday, and our guest is Books NYC, and we're doing original art.
Nice.
I was just gonna say, how about that Vampire?
That's a nice
There it
cover.
is.
Oh, that's real nice.
The artist who did that is the one who did the Darth Vader. Where is the Darth Vader?
That is a very nice
Oh,
cover.
this is rated R.
It is.
Oh my!
Darth Vader for me.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's
Spider Grandpa will be
Oh,
in this
yeah.
bunk.
Hashtag meat and potatoes.
Spider-Grandpa loves that.
John is fanning himself with the C.
Street Fighter.
I gotta find a use for it. I mean, it's good.
It's a fantastic comic book. You read it, you fool.
So terrible.
It's fantastic.
The horror cover's nice
Oh, yeah.
at least.
Lumberjanes.
Lumberjanes.
You said horror, right?
Minecraft.
Horror.
I think we forgot a
My kid's
syllable.
gonna go nuts for that.
Horror.
Pokemon.
And-
Oh, you got to catch them all.
Horrible.
Pokemon.
Gilbert.
I said it.
Who's Gilbert?
Oh,
Can I ask Alec?
90s
Alec, can I
kid,
ask you a
I said it.
question since we're all on
Doctor
here
Who.
together?
I mean, you can try.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, yeah. The doctor.
Kat Ren and I are gonna do a
Send us.
case study next week with C. Woodard, and we're gonna compare Avengers Endgame
Bob's Burger.
to Old Boy.
Yes, we are. It's
Casper.
gonna happen.
Would you like to join us?
Casper.
If seeing Endgame is a prerequisite, then no.
I'm still watching JB, by the way. I want to know what books to get.
But I'm very interested to see this.
I'm daughters. I never need to talk about Old Boy the rest of my life.
Spoilers for Old Boy.
Spoilers. Come on, man. White demands your time.
Where's that Bloodshot cover? That one's pretty hot.
Come here. You got a beer?
Oh, that'll be the one to get.
Yeah.
Little Lulu's
Oh, spec on Little Lulu.
Yep, I was gonna say that's the one to get.
Little Lulu? I'll grab one.
Yep. Oh, maybe that one.
Little Lulu. Was that coming out when you were a teenager there, Paul?
Oh.
I was already in my mid-20s.
Oh, okay.
Star Wars.
Hey, there's a Star Wars book for you, Mark.
There's a big time Star Wars one that's supposed to come out. Actually, it's in all the freaking every Marvel book this week.
Tomorrow's May the 4th. Be with you.
It is.
Centauri Strip.
Tomorrow's May the 4th.
That looks cool.
Jesus, we're not
My
even
favorite
saying
thing
sound smart anymore.
French. Does it sound as sleazy as I think it should?
What's
Ghost
that?
Hog.
What is it? Pokemon.
Hang on. Where's the Star Wars?
Yeah, Pokemon.
Teach you not to eat meat.
Go fish.
Aquaman.
Should be interesting in one of my LCSs tomorrow because I always get a bunch of people from the 501st Legion.
Yeah, we get ours. Actually, the one that's in
Yeah, that's the
Omaha
next topic.
is rated every year for like one of the best ones in the country.
Yep.
Every year.
There's going to be a bunch of 501st Legion.
They spend a ton of money. This is the book. Hey, was this there? The Walt Simonson drawn Star Wars? This is supposed to be a free comic book day pickup, and it's supposed to be ridiculously good. It's Walt Simonson doing Star Wars again.
I'm supposed to have them all. I haven't seen it yet.
So it's 100.
Oh, how is that Catwoman book?
I don't know. Do you want me to put it aside for you? I'll send it to you.
But Daredevil with a freaking sword. Spoiler.
He's on the cover.
I'll put that
All right.
aside.
I don't know whose sword.
A book's out for it.
Could be Excalibur.
Sheets
not.
story. Dragon.
How many
Fly.
books did you get?
Dragon Man.
Did you rob
Oh,
somebody?
wait, there. We had that dude on our,
that series is really funny.
we had that dude on our show. That's Doc Brown.
Yep.
Deadly Class.
Oh, nice.
Does
out this
anybody remember that?
Yeah, I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
a couple shows we've done in the past.
There's a couple I don't.
Your Colin Bunn show is one of my favorites.
Arcade.
Go for it.
That
Oh,
looks
that
cool.
looks cool.
That looks awesome.
There you go.
Who's that by?
Apocalyptic thing there.
This is by
Well, what's the
Five Red Comics.
publisher? I never seen that publisher.
Five Red Comics, I think. Motor.
I never heard of it. Is that a local California thing?
No, this is just one of the.
It's
free
it's
comic
listed as one of the nationwide covers.
One of the free comic books.
So while you're doing this, I'm going to announce another thing. Next week, if Legend feels well enough and he's able to return, his girls, the Hero Initiative lady may be on with none other than Jeff Lemire.
Working on Jeff Lemire.
Yes.
Because we are going to be giving away his what is that thing that we're giving away? Do you guys remember that? Those bundles?
They have a bundle where
humble
they've
bundle?
got everything from Descender to Royal City to a number of really great Jeff Lemire reads, all as digital books. What was it, like $8 bundle? Something like that. Really great deal though. So.
I like Jeff Lemire. I like his stuff.
All right.
Black Hammer's amazing.
While you're doing that, I am also going to announce the big announcement. It's going to be a couple months out, but this year at Baltimore Comic Con, the Comic Corps will have an exclusive Baltimore Con
comic book
cover.
Is it a book or a cover?
For what?
I don't know, but it's like that Greg Hand dude.
Yeah, it's
Greg
the Greg
Land.
Greg Land.
Greg Land.
Is part of
Sorry.
a certain charitable organization who Greg Land is a good one. But you don't know who Greg Land is. He did a bunch of Ironmans in the 2000s. He's really well known. And he's doing a cover for the Comic Corp on a book. And I forget the name of the book. But it's a big book. It's a Marvel book.
Last one. Never heard of it. Oh, wait a minute. Donnie Cates.
He's written before.
Interceptor.
Interceptor. I've never seen that. Who's that by?
Donnie Cates.
Donnie Cates.
I don't need the. I mean the
Vault.
publisher.
Vault.
Oh, Vault. Okay. Yeah.
Better run out and get that one tomorrow.
Hey, Alec.
Pick it up.
Alec, did you pick up that
right.
Forbidden Son?
Thank you.
What
The Valiant book that came out? Did you pick up that Valiant book by what's his name?
Off me now, right?
Hang on.
I picked up.
Good writer. Good writer.
Picked up this last week, but
No, so it was
By
a Valiant book
Hand.
that came out. That was really good.
I didn't buy any Valiant books this week.
Hey, Drew, can you tell us what we're looking at for Baltimore?
Man, you're looking at one of the best cons for books you will ever be to. It beats
C2E2.
It does C2E2. There's books as far as your eye can see. You can take it from me, Drew Mansfield.
He rhymed.
I was trying to catch myself a little bit of flow to bring some great legend back to the show. But when you get to Baltimore, don't pick up any one of them hoes. And they might be cold, but they won't be wearing any clothes. You got to avoid the West Side. That's where they filmed The Wire. And if you want to come out to the sticks with me, I promise you'll never be higher. And there's going to be books and long boxes and stacks of slabs. If you guys want, we can go out and we can get some beer and some crabs. I'm just saying it's going to be a fabulous time. You guys got to come to Baltimore and hang out with us because I'm all out of rhymes.
Yeah. So I think you should probably be more specific on the crabs because
I was a little worried about the hose.
Dealer's choice.
Are we talking?
That's what I'm saying. Dealer's choice. Dealer's choice.
Got a degree in thugonomics.
The proceeds from our T-shirt are 100% going to somebody or some people in the community that don't get to go to shows or can't afford to go to shows. We're gonna fly you guys in or bus you or whatever's the cheapest, put you up and get you passes to hang out with us the entire weekend because we do have a booth. And next week, Miss Explained and I are going to New Dimension Comic Book Con in Pittsburgh, Three Rivers Comic Book Con, and we are working with some of the those guys to set up some of the meet and greets and some of the other things that are going to be happening in Baltimore. So stay tuned, sub us up, like us, share the videos, become part of the Comic Corp. If you want to put a show on, find a spot, put one on. We enjoy it, and again, we're givers, not takers. Right, JD?
That's exactly true. Exactly true.
So, Carson?
Yeah, can we give one to the chat real quick? Because there's a lot of people hopping in here.
Yeah,
you gotta highlight Sammy Strikes Back's comment because
that was the first one I was gonna read. So we got Sammy Strikes Back in the chase. Says, I was told you guys were talking to old boy serial killers and safe words. I'm really sad I missed those topics.
Hey, the rewind is an option. Saying.
There you go.
That's good.
Then Terry Stir Fries back. He says, smooth like honey. Baltimore was cool from what I've seen. I didn't see much between the window washing, though. So, jeez.
Hey, you got to keep an eye out for those squeezy kids, man. But they need to make a living, too. At least they're working. At least they're working.
But we've got Blasted or Stash It Comic Show in the chat. I think Paul and Drew know a thing or two about that show. We got Mr. Media Mailman himself in the chat. We talked about him once earlier. We got Jason Smith in the chat.
Congratulations, Jason, on being a grandfather. That's awesome.
Oh, congratulations, man. I didn't hear about
Mazel
that.
tov.
He just became a grandfather.
Awesome. Cheers, Jason. That's awesome. We also have We Love Comics is in the chat. How's it going, man? Glad to see you in that chat. Whitewell Comics simply just says whiskey. So there you go. And we got Mastodon Comics and Collecting still in the chat.
Unless you want some.
And then Jason Smith just types grandfather.
Is it go grab a whiskey?
And then we got Comic Son. He says take care. So nice to see you, Comic Son. Tony Sanders still in the chat, and everyone's laughing at me, so I'm gonna stop.
We're laughing. We're laughing because Jason Smith's daughter is 15.
Oh God! Come on, Chad. But anyway, I guess on that note, should we go through last plugs? Just end it there. So, well, next to me is Alec from Whitewell Comics. What's going on your channel, buddy?
I have an auction on Sunday with JB and Caleb. It's going to be at 10 o'clock after Game of Thrones Eastern Time. And on Monday, I've got Story Comic Corp. And on Wednesday, I've got a new book club with.
What are we doing?
We're doing War of the Realms 1, 2, and 3.
Very excited. Very excited. And I'm going to have about 4 more tie-ins read by then, too. So.
And Alec, you're going to be joining us late tomorrow, right?
I'll be joining you late tomorrow, yes. As soon as I get home, I'm jumping on.
Awesome. So can't wait to see you there. Next up, we got Midwest Comicman Paul. How you been, Paul? What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Where's Paul?
I'm old and boring.
All right,
but as always, this show is all about Legend. So just everybody show your love for Legend because he's a true gift to the community, and most people don't know how much he really has done for the community, and any support is appreciated.
Awesome. Next up, not only are they from Katren Figures, they're also from Cinema Figures. Kat, Mark, what's going on your channels?
Just hopefully a what's in my pull box video. If my postal worker and Midtown stop feuding, I totally think that USPS and Midtown have like a love-hate relationship. Unfortunately, here recently, they've been hating each other. I've got a bunch of different things going on there. On Cinema Figures, we will have a review for Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile out tomorrow. And also another little thing, since Chad and JD are talking about their cosplays that they're going to be working on for Baltimore, I thought we should shout out Mark and mine new cosplay for Baltimore. We are not going to be doing a couple cosplay this time. Mark, do you want to tell them what you're doing?
You can.
He is going to be doing his avatar for Division 2. And I will be Hellboy or Hellgirl, actually. But
that is awesome.
I will be red with yellow eyes.
Mark's going to cosplay as someone who got out of his cage for a few days.
He's going to be
If
surviving.
you haven't watched Mark play Division 2, don't.
I'm terrible at terrible.
But again, Mark is going to have a new show on the Comic Corp. It's called What is Mark Eating?
What is Mark eating today? We had strawberry cheesecake. What else did we have?
Oh, that was it. I had like 6 pieces.
He had 6 pieces of cheesecake and about 14
drinks. You want Golden Girls. You can make Golden Girls fun.
This shirt is amazing. So on the pocket, it says Suns Out, Buns Out.
It's a hot dog.
And then inside the pocket, there's a hot dog.
Goes all the way down.
Is it a real hot dog?
Hey, last night after we got done talking about Game of Thrones, I went and bought a sausage. I don't know why. Were you guys hungry about sausage?
What
Is that
episode were you on?
we talked about?
Are you on the Are you in the Ramsey and Theon episode? Or?
I mean, spoiler alert: Chad's all hungry for sausage after watching Theon and. And
if you visit,
Chad can't wait to get that sausage in his mouth.
This doesn't happen on Unlimited.
Can I share my cosplay for Baltimore at this point?
Yes.
Are you cosplaying? This is gonna make so happy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the anti-joy equation. It's gonna be an easy costume. just JD's unimpressed.
I think John Collins' kid is up next. John, what's
Every
next?
kid have nice things.
So my pick of the. Oh wait, we're not doing pick of the week anymore. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think we forgot that you because we just kept moving on. Anyway, what's your pick of the week, John?
I'm telling you, it's deceased. Of course, it's deceased.
Yeah, of course, mine too.
By the way, Double S made a comment. If at some point at one of these cons we don't have Mark go as the Gimp and Katren as Ed, my life will not be complete.
Bring out the Gimp.
I have that.
Chris
too.
Barrett said he thought I was going to go as Jubilee.
Male Jubilee. That would be awesome.
And Bear Island said Chad's never turned down sausage. Let's be real here.
Okay.
Congratulations. So for me, I've got a later show with the girls on Saturday after we get done with Free Comic Book Day. And then I'll be doing the list next week. We'll be doing episode 2 on the Comic Corps. Should be Monday after Alec wraps up. So if Alec just keeps going, Story Comic Club could just wipe us out. And then Unlimited.
Maybe we'll only do one issue of Why the Last Man this week, and we'll be done real quick.
Or let the list go first.
Well, we'll talk about that.
You just made the list.
Hey, I'm hanging out with JD a bunch next week. We got Unlimited. He's on Book Club. He's on List. So we'll be chilling a bunch next week. I dropped a couple of short videos for a new series I'm doing on my channel called Starting Line. You can look at Punisher and Wonder Woman. Thanks for the shout out on your channel, Discovery Bay. Much appreciated. So you can check those out on my channel if you get a chance.
Thanks for featuring me.
And John will be back after the battle of Westeros. What are they going to call that?
Okay, it's okay.
But he's going to be joining us back on the Entertainment Channel at some point. Hey, guys, I don't mean to cut you off there, Seawood, but we have a protege of the great legend himself.
What
that is a protege. Oh, no, you were trying to be funny. I get it. Oh, you're old. And that was like an old person joke. Go
the best kind.
We got Who Dat Comics and Movies. How's it going, man?
What's
Thanks for
going
being
on,
here.
guys?
What up, Who Dat?
What's going on? How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing a wonderful time.
Hey, Who Dat? We're
Time.
We're better than that here.
We're closing out real quick, but I couldn't help. But I mean, would you mind giving a shout out and giving us a quick legend story?
Well, I have a whole bunch because I've known him for a long time. Where people are not even around anymore. Some of the best legend stories are first auctions we were doing, and we had some other people on there who are not around. Best one was Crazy Noob or Comic Noob or nobody probably knows him, but
yeah, I remember Noob.
You remember Noob? Noob was selling the deer piss. Legend was like promoting the deer. It's like
wait, he was seriously selling deer piss?
Yes. And he said his comics came from a smoke-free house with a cigarette in his hand.
Guys, if you haven't checked out Who Dat's awesome. He's our brother from another mother down in New Orleans. But this cat has one of the greatest of Black Panther or Avenger?
Which one? Oh yeah, no, that was the Avengers Infinity War movie.
Oh my god!
The when she actually sat through that whole movie and watched it, and she said,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she said everybody got dusted at the end, and she clapped, and everybody was like, "What?" And this big guy who's like 6'5", 300-something pounds, big black guy, and he was sitting next to us, and he goes, when Black Panther disappeared, and everybody started kind of like crying, and she did that, and he goes, "She's a what did he say? She's a savage or she's a beast, one of the two." But it was kind of crazy.
Yeah, you said she's a savage.
yeah.
Now, who that? Are you going to be joining us for the auction tomorrow night?
I have date night. I told Carson if I'm available when I come back, I'll definitely pop on. So it all depends on.
Hey, it's date night. Let's hope you're not available.
Yeah. So if I'm not available,
we know how the date went.
Yeah. If I'm not available, you this thumbs up.
Funny kids is true.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I got a whole bunch of stories though. With like some you can't tell on here, some you can. But yeah, like I was supposed to meet him out when I was in Dallas when we were in Dallas. Didn't meet up with him, but I forgot what he said. I gotta go back and like read my messages, but it's hilarious.
Again, if you guys want to donate to help Legend out, our PayPal's in the link and description below. I know it would be greatly appreciated by all of us here and also by the Legend himself. So, next up, is it JD? JD, man, you are a handsome man.
Thank you very much, Chad. I know. It's fine. But anyway, so, what's going on? Let's talk about really quickly what I got going on my channel. Get to a Legend. Thank you. I have on my channel not much at all, maybe an unboxing or two coming up, but more or less what I have on the core. I've got real excited about the list on Monday with Robert Galvin as a guest. Tuesday we're doing I think To Slab or Not to Slab, and after that Stranger Things with Comic Books NYC doing original art. That's my highlight next week. Obviously, I then have Unlimited and New Comic Book Day, which I'm very excited to talk about my two buddies, Alec and John, about War of the Realms. I think that would be great. I think that'll be a lot of fun. And then, just a brief little Legend thing. I want to thank Legend most of all. Was when I decided to do this. I was older, I'm a little older, and I've only been on since June. So that gives you an idea. Only been on since June, and I talked to him like 4 or 5 times. And I was, he's like, "Man, I love your channel, your different content." But I wasn't different. I was just showing the same stuff, but then I wanted to do something different. I said, I want to do something different. And my different might have been the interviews on my own channel, but my different I want it to be is to help Chad and Legends see their goal through of making Comic Corp almost YouTube network, a channel where everybody can watch something every night. And I love the challenge that Legend put in front of me. And, I always said givers and takers. But I learned that from the Legend's truth when he was talking about the jealousy truth. And the fact is that there are givers and takers in this world. There's givers and takers in everything. And anybody who's here and having a great time, we're all going to be givers for the Legend, no matter what. So make sure you tune in for the auction. Donate to the PayPal. I'll be donating a small stack of Legend-inspired books. So you will see some Fantastic Fours. You'll see some Shazams. And I'll be on tomorrow night when White Whale gets on. Sound good?
Perfect. Hey, Big Bird, what you got for me?
Oh man, I'll tell you what, I've been having a great time hanging out tonight. I just want to say that we are selling these T-shirts. We're making sure that we're doing something good with that. Beyond the whole Legend thing, we all love the Legend, but we're selling these T-shirts to help other people in the community out too. And I'll just say this: you're coming to Baltimore, try to buy an uglier Legend T-shirt. and we'll put them up against each other. We'll have a little vote, and we'll see who has the ugliest T-shirt. Right now, it's
You
mine.
win, Drew.
It's
You
my
win, Drew.
T-shirt. This
I
is
want
the
that
least flattering T-shirt I've ever had in my entire life. I look
You keep pinching and holding it like you got boobs or something. I don't know what you're doing.
I'm
here.
trying to cuddle.
I love the Big Bird though. It's
I'm trying to-
amazing.
I'm trying to get the damn up in there so people can see it.
You
without me
get
having to stand
Paste
up.
Pot Pete
Look
and
at that.
Pepto Bismol pink. I'm just saying.
Leave
Oh my
Paste Pot
goodness.
Pete alone. Peter
That is a
Petrucci
bad
is
idea,
a
too.
comic icon.
Look, man.
Joker, Doctor Doom, Paste Pot Pete. That's how it goes.
Caleb's shirt is going to be up, and Story Comic Corps is going to be up this week. I've been working on it. I apologize. I've been slacking.
The T-shirt game on the Comic Corps is top notch, Chad. Do not be down on yourself. We're doing a fantastic thing here. Everybody,
I got a new one coming out. We're going to do a Golden Guys one. I got the logo and I got the photo to put it on.
I love the fact that we did not get hit with a copyright with that music.
That one you wouldn't be.
I did.
Did you with the Golden Girls?
Hey,
I got hit with the copy. It wasn't a strike, but I
Mark's
got hit with the
eating
copyright
again.
notification.
You shouldn't have gotten one on that one.
Wow.
That's a local band that doesn't even know what that shit is.
I thought that was on my video.
Mark, did you just pull a
Oh
sausage
no,
out
I
of
had
your
them both.
pocket?
Alec, I got 2 in a row.
Mark is eating a sausage, by the way, Chad.
What's that?
Mark's eating a sausage, by the way.
Which is weird that you got hit by that because the video that on my actual channel did not get notified. I didn't get notified.
I was
about it.
actually told some of the people in the know because my videos are over 10 minutes, it kicks another search. So because my videos are always over 10 minutes, they're looking for those. Whatever. Don't matter. So someone else monetizes the 75 views. Whatever.
So I need to thank the 2 newest members of the Comic Corps A show, and that is Drew Manchu and JB. I appreciate you guys. You guys are fucking killing it. And JB, the hardest working man in the game. I mean, Carson, give him a promo.
I have to give him. He's so good at giving something. But anyway,
give a rest.
I didn't know we were ranking the shows.
Right? He's just the hardest working.
Well, you know something, mean Chad.
How hard you work.
This
Alex.
guy JB over here, he's one of the hardest working guys. He's taking his vitamins. He's saying his prayers.
Clanging and banging.
Yeah, he's
All right,
clanging and banging.
all right.
All right, we're cool with that.
See what I got this one. I got this one. All right.
What?
He's Discovery Bay, JB. He does not sleep. He's the hardest man. He's the hardest working man in the entire comic book community. He
Mark eating
okay. Tito's. Let's put it that way.
Can you give me a rhyme?
No.
This guy JB is the hardest working man in his industry. He's working hard day and night for these cats. He's putting content on and off. Just pay attention to JB if you want to be discovered. It doesn't rhyme at the end, but you know.
What I would like to mention is to everybody who is in the chat and everybody on the panel, if you guys want something on the show, let me know. I'll put it in the lineup.
And I would like to point out that if he gets used to putting your content on his show and you slack and don't put any out for a while, he will scold you.
Shame. He just rhymed. He's a poet and didn't even know it.
Don't blow it.
But hey, I do have a lot of stuff going on this weekend. Like I said, we got tomorrow night, Comic Corps, 8 p.m. auction, right? 8 p.m., right? 8 p.m.
Yep.
And then Sunday, Alec, you said we were moving that to 7 p.m. My time. We're talking about my time, Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah.
Can you do 8?
Only East Coast matters.
Isn't that like 11 p.m. Eastern?
No, you're not gonna
Here we go, 10 p.m. Eastern, like the Legends auction.
Hey, we're going to push it back to 10. We got to push it back to 10.
All right, so let me put
10
that
p.m.
right.
Eastern Standard Time.
7 p.m. Pacific Standard
both
Time, 10
days.
p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Getting it on the calendar, guys.
There you
Now, I
go.
will say that tomorrow's show, I'm going to make it really short and sweet. And next week I'm changing the show again because it's not working, I guess. If you watch, the numbers are going down. So I'm going to change the format of the show again. And I'm happy to take any suggestions from anybody that wants to give me one. Because as you can tell, I've tried everything, and the subscribers are going through the roof, guys. My subscriber count is awesome, but the views are tanking. So I gotta change the show up again. So Monday, you'll see a different format again.
Yeah, I've got a suggestion. Put more of me on your show.
That's what it is.
I'll tell you what,
show.
JB, that has not worked for my channel.
No.
Hey, JB,
It's
I
funny.
will have you a trailer for the entire Comic Corp. I'm working on it. I have really cool pictures of Alec and John and JD. And
Can you not talk about pictures that you have? Really strange pictures of Alec, John, and myself.
I didn't say strange. I said good.
Where did you get pictures of all of us together?
Taking our picture.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, it is.
No, I put together a really nice montage with uncopyrighted music.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like copyrighted music. I like saying that challenge me. The two guys that sang that shit are dead. Dead, dead, dead. So
Someone still owns the right.
Did a serial killer get him?
Serial
All about the game and how you play it.
That guy's dead.
He's dead for sure.
Or did he just descend? Anyway,
God is dead.
Tony Giovanni, come on.
I was say Chip. Well, I was gonna say I guess I do want to plug one thing. Shout out to Chad from 90MF Comics. He's gonna do this weekly turtle show every Thursday called Turtle Talk Thursdays. So definitely catch that. If I can make it next week, we're gonna read a couple comics that just came out the last 2 weeks. Hopefully, Hoodad will be on with us one day.
Yes, I'll be ready next week.
Awesome.
Hopefully, we talk about the Batman Ninja
Turtles. So definitely check that out. I have the tomorrow off, so not only will it be sorting for the auction, hopefully I'll finally edit my next signature video. So
I definitely want to see that. Definitely.
Yeah, I guess stay tuned for that because spoilers. I finally crossed 1,000 signatures, so that was kind of funny, I guess. So
Oh my God!
We're doing a Stranger Things with Carson and signatures, but we need to limit him, and we don't know where do we stop.
So you had 1,000 signatures. So do you get paid now to get signatures?
Yeah, I guess I get
because
those
you're
super
monetized
chats.
now.
I haven't done the wall yet, so we'll see what the end all be all is because I still have after the video I'm about to edit. I have another video. I think it's gonna be my last video on the actual box collection, and then after that I gotta do I'll debate if we do the hardcovers or not, and then we'll do the wall. So yeah, we're not even close to being done with that. But other than that, he's up there again, Chad. That Sting, he's in there after. So we'll keep the tape machines rolling though and see what happens.
This is Chad, but I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna try my best. This is the Great Legend, and I'm coming at you live. Listen, sub up the Comic Corp because you know it is the hottest show on Friday night, and the Comic Corp got stuff going every single day of the week. Hey, God bless. Good night.